I was playing great. I just got nothing out of it, and you know, going into Friday, I was like, just keep doing what I'm doing, and to be honest, I don't even know. I was playing so good. I knew if I just kept doing what I'm doing, I'll work my way up. But to come out on top, it's unbelievable.
Our second Canadian winner of the season. You move up to number 6 in the FedEx Cup standings. Just talk a little bit about how this changes your goals going forward.
Yeah, it definitely changes my schedule a lot. Um, Obviously, I'll be into more events now. Yeah, I'll have more time at home to work on my game and prepare for obviously bigger events now. So I'm excited.
Okay, awesome. We'll go into questions. Let's start with Dale right here in the middle. Dale, we'll give you. There you go.
17 under. Late in the round, you had Brian and Sahith, bearing down on you. Can you talk about the birdies on 16, 17 that helped pull you over the line?
Yeah, I looked on the leaderboard on 15, the par 5 there, and hit a poor wedge shot and made par. But I knew there was a couple good birdie chances on 16 and 17 with a front flag. And the shot on 16, it's kind of spun back, but it was kind of an easy putt uphill left to right, and I just knew it just hit it hard enough, and it went in. And then the one on 17, I didn't think it was going to go in, and somehow it just dove in. I don't know.
All right, let's go to Rex.
You've kind of addressed this after the first round, but was there any frustration at all? Thinking that because you started on the plantation course, it's the easier of the two courses. What was your mindset?
Yeah, I was very frustrated. I just knew, like, I just keep doing what I'm doing. I mean, I flushed it on Thursday, and I just got nothing out of my round. And going into Friday, I just was grinding. I don't even know. I just was putting great, hitting it great, and I just kept hitting the fairway, hitting it on the green, and just kept doing what I'm doing. I don't really know. I just knew if I just keep playing great, good things will happen. And last week I found something in my golf swing, and just kind of took it into this week. And yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. That's it.
What do you think the difference was between Thursday and the rest of the week?
Putting, for sure. I kind of changed my stroke a little bit on Friday, and then it was feeling really, really good, and I just kind of stuck with it, and yeah.
Okay, Gary.
Adam, on Friday, do you watch the leaderboard enough to know how far behind you were behind what you thought the cut might be?
I figured on Thursday I needed to shoot about 4 under par. I told my caddy that, and yeah, we just had a game plan to shoot that and make the cut and just keep moving up, and yeah.
Okay, and the money's good, and two-year exemption is good, but how soon after the last putt do you just start thinking Kapalua Masters players, things like that?
I didn't even think about it till it was brought up to me 15 minutes ago. I'm more proud of what I've accomplished from the direction I was to the direction I've gone now. It's more fulfilling than money to me. So I'm more just proud of myself for things I've been doing.
All right, let's go Adam and then up to Kevin.
When did you start thinking I could actually win this tournament?
When I teed off, I don't know. I mean, I knew I was playing great. I just had to stay out of my own way. At the start of the day, I told myself just don't make a bogey, and I'm putting well, and I just had to keep myself under control.
How long have you been working with John Graham?
About a year now, just over a year.
And was this something you changed in your putting Friday, something that he had suggested or something you just came up with?
Yeah, we really work on flow in my stroke, and sometimes on the long ones, especially this week, it's fast. So just having a little bit more flow has helped me with speed control, because I do get a little jabby sometimes. So just having a little bit more flow in the backstroke.
What did you change in yourself between the first time you were on the PGA Tour and this second go around you've had?
I relied mostly on talent when I was younger. I didn't put enough work in. I wasn't that disciplined, and like I said, 2 years ago, I decided to give it 100%. And I've been super disciplined on, I don't drink anymore. I go to the golf course every day. I'm up at 6. I give it 100% now. And that's the reason.
All right, let's go Kevin and then over to Derek.
Congrats, Ev. You mentioned in the Golf Channel interview that a couple years ago you were thinking about quitting golf. What was that point?
Well, I mean, every tour player wants to quit golf once in a while, but you say that, but you obviously don't. It's just a feeling, because you're so down and you're not playing well. But I just made a choice to give it 100%. There was no after I lost my tour card, that's kind of when I decided to do that.
And what were the conversations like? Like, was there anyone you relied on in particular to set a course, or was it kind of self-planning of those changes?
It's all self. You can say you can work hard, but in the end, if you got to actually do the work, and I'm just proud of myself for doing that.
And I know you hadn't made a cut yet at this tournament before this week. Was that a product of the course not setting up well for you, or playing poorly this week? What do you think? What do you attribute that to?
This golf course, Seaside, it's tough. The greens are fast, so I think before, just my putting wasn't quite there. Kind of a couple loose shots here and there. But just I'm getting better and better and better, and that's, probably the reason.
All right, let's go to Derek.
All right. You mentioned the birdie on 17. Were you aware of the scoreboard at that point? Kind of where? Just all right. So you hit that. What are you feeling up 2 strokes after making that birdie and onto the tee box on 18?
Yeah, I was pumped. I was super excited. I knew if I just hit the fairway on 18, I can kind of get it up there and make par or bogey. And yeah.
Is any sort of nerves just knowing, like I said, you just basically don't have to not mess it up to be able to pull out the first win for you?
Yeah, I was just swing 50%, because that 50% is probably 80%. And that was kind of my mindset coming in the last couple holes, was just swing 50%. And yeah.
All right, let's go over to Sean.
We've seen a few rounds of 62, 63s out of you over the last few years. Obviously, you went low the last 3 rounds here. What do you think? Is it something about your game or mentality that allows you to, go low fairly often?
I think it's ball striking, consistency. Hitting fairways, hitting greens, giving yourself opportunities, not short-siding yourself. I'm definitely getting better at playing away from flags now. Before I was, firing out, all the flags, and when the putter's hot, you can shoot low numbers doing that.
All right, anything else? Okay, let's go back to Kevin.
What do you think? How do you think going back to the Korn Ferry Tour in 2020-21 benefited you most as you look back, kind of at that part of the journey in your arc?
Realizing I wasn't good as I actually was, and realizing that how hard everyone works on this tour and what it takes to get here. It was a blessing, to be honest. It kind of changed my path and everything.
What's one area you've worked harder kind of in this second stint of your career since that kind of readjustment?
I would say putting, especially probably the last 6 months. I put in a lot of work with putting. But I try and even it out, chipping, putting, hitting. Just the everyday, putting that that work in, it just slowly get better.
What was the toughest part of putting, like kind of at first in your career before these improvements?
For me, it was the short putts with confidence, kind of steering it here and there, and when you have confidence when you're putting, you feel like you can make everything, and those 2-3 footers, you just bang them in.
The fact you've led the field statistically in strokes gained putting this week, what does that mean to you from?
I didn't even know that. Cool. Means the work I'm doing is paying off with John, and it's nice.
And when did you decide to quit drinking?
Like two years ago. I mean, I've probably had maybe 5 drinks, but like quit drinking, I mean like, going out with the boys and having drinks and stuff.
Does that count for tonight too?
Well, I'm supposed to drive home tonight, so yeah, maybe I'll have one when I get home.
One more, Kevin, and then back to Adam.
And the fact no one can ever take away that you're a PGA Tour winner. Like that's something you'll have on your resume and your mind the memory forever. Just in general, what does that knowledge mean to you that you've accomplished that goal?
It's it's been a dream of mine since I was 8 years old, and it's just incredible. I don't think the money does I don't think money really does anything. I mean, it's the feeling of coming down the stretch and winning and all that stuff. You just can't beat it.
Okay, let's go to Adam.
Can you paint the picture, tell me a little bit where you were when you had this kind of come to Jesus moment that I'm going to really commit and make golf my job and not just rely on the talent?
I can't remember. It was just one day I woke up and I was like, that's it. That's it. And just kind of went from there.
Was it after a certain tournament, though, where you had a bad result, or after a hangover?
Probably a hangover. I don't know. I can't remember.
Okay.
All right. Anything else? All right. Congratulations, Adam.
Appreciate
Best of
it.
luck going forward.
Cool.
So,
Thanks, guys.
thank you, sir.